Mr. Cox, Mr. Cox.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Right, man. How you doing today?
Jet lag. Not necessarily jet lag, but just tired, man. I spent the week in the DMV next
Yeah,
close
yeah.
to y'all doing pawpaw duties and everything. So
No, I
just trying
understand.
just trying to get my feet back under me and stuff. But good to be here, man. What we gonna hit them with this week, man?
And we're gonna get into some sports, man. Talking, the NFL, man, a little bit. Talk about some fakers and some, real contenders. Talk a little bit about the news, the debate, between Vice President Harris and um, former President Donald Trump. And, just a couple other things. We're gonna keep it light today, but looking forward to it.
We may have guests, we may not. We never know. People jump on from time to time.
Right.
We don't know in advance, but if they jump on, we'll welcome them and everything. Okay. And
Right.
as usual,
Do it now, or I'll hunt you down. Smash like. Do it.
smash and like. Let's do it now. You got you can see the particulars on the screen. Suleiman telling me you good at that. I can't remember half of it. So,
Hey, we're on X at Gents Making at Gents MS. We're on Spoutable at Gents MS. I'm sorry, at Gents Making Sense. We're also on YouTube. All of our videos will go up on YouTube shortly after we do them. So please visit us and subscribe. You'll get all of our content, and looking forward to some good stuff.
Good. So we're gonna move right into it. We're gonna talk about the second week of the NFL. Second week of the NFL, best time of the year when we have a little NFL to talk about and everything. We're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna call it the fakers and the takers. Who are the fakers and the takers? We got those teams out there that's trying to fool us, make us think they're good, make us think they're gonna do something this year, and will they fall off later on? And then we got those teams that we thought were gonna be really, really good, and they just haven't gotten to a good start. And full disclosure, my Ravens is one of those teams. So,
Oh, I know. I got a lot to say about the Ravens, man.
yeah, full disclosure, I went by the Met Bank Stadium this weekend when I was in Baltimore, and I was like, "Yeah, I wish I could go to the game." I picked up me some Raven paraphernalia, but right now I'm a little sad. But let's go ahead and get into some of these fakers here. Let's start with. Tell me what you think about the Chargers. The LA Chargers. They're 2-0. They're 2-0, and they look like they're doing good. Their quarterback looks good. I don't. I still think they're fakers and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say they're fakers yet. Obviously, with me being a Buckeye fan, I can't stand Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
But one thing Jim Harbaugh's team's going to do is run the football, and you see right now. I mean, Dobbins, when he was at Baltimore, he couldn't stay healthy. Couldn't get his foot going. All of a sudden, now he looks like a world beater out in L.A. because that's Jim Harbaugh. He's a running coach. He's a disciplined coach. Pretty basic offense. I don't know. I think they're going to be middle of the pack. I don't think Chargers going to win the West, but I think they'll be middle of the pack, and I think they'll make the playoffs. I do. I think they will.
Okay. Now they got a big test this week. We can see if they can stick with a pound and ground team. They play Pittsburgh this week,
right.
So that should be a good game. The quarterback matchup: Justin Herbert and Justin Fields.
Yeah. It should be a good one.
Yeah, it's a good matchup. Herbert got 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Fields have did what has done what he's supposed to do. No interceptions, 1 touchdown, nothing great. And that's what Pittsburgh asks of their quarterbacks is to don't lose the game.
Yeah,
we got a good defense. Get the ball to the running back, and let's just see. And the Pittsburgh, led by Harris, got 2 or 3 running backs that they get the ball to.
yeah.
They don't have a featured running
They're
back.
playing Pittsburgh ball, man. That's what they need to do. Play Pittsburgh football.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. And I'm really a little upset that the Chargers got J.K. Dobbins from my Ravens, and all of a sudden J.K. Dobbins act like he brand new. He almost got 300.
That's the
300
J.K.
yards.
Dobbins that I thought we were going to see in
Yeah,
Baltimore.
yeah. So I don't know. I still don't believe Fields is gonna have to open it up. I think they're gonna stick with the ground game. I think he's gonna run when he has to. I don't think you're gonna see him pass for over 200 yards. I can almost guarantee you he won't pass for over 200 yards.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
agree.
think I don't think they're gonna unleash him for that amount of time. So we'll see how it goes and stuff, but I just don't think so. I think they're gonna try to win it with defense and the running game.
Yeah, I agree.
Chargers gonna throw the ball down the field. You know they are.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be a game of who can get their best, who can play their game and win it. So
Right.
you got predictions. Who you think gonna win it?
The Super Bowl?
No, gonna win this game.
Oh, you're talking about between the Pittsburgh and the Chargers?
Chargers, yeah. We're gonna make sure we're gonna see if they're fakers. This game will maybe tell us if they're fakers or not.
Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh gonna win.
You think Pittsburgh gonna win? How many points you think?
Oh, I think it's gonna be close.
I tell you what the line is. The line is 2 points.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I was gonna say a field goal.
Yeah,
I'll say a field goal because I mean, like you said, Pittsburgh's gonna run the ball. They're gonna play good defense. Fields they're not gonna put Fields in a situation where he's
the
gonna
line ain't even 2 points. Is 1.5, so it's gonna be a close game.
I see. I'm taking Pittsburgh and like 3 points or a touchdown max.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Okay, Vikings.
Fakers.
You got any reason why?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Have they played anybody yet? I mean, who the first 2 games against who? Who they beat?
Let me pull up for you. I know they play Texans this week, so that's gonna be a good game.
That's gonna be the test.
Yeah, so that's why we want to see if they're fakers and stuff. I don't have their first. I'll pull it up in the free.
I'm pulling it up. I'm trying to pull it up now, but in my opinion, I don't think they beat anybody, man. And Minnesota is Minnesota.
Well, they're favored to lose by 2.5 points, 2.5 points. They should. That's what they're saying. They're gonna lose and everything. So we'll see what happens and everything.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm trying to pull it up.
I tell you what, while you're trying to pull up, Sam Donaldson been chunking that ball. He really has. As country boys would say, he been chunking that ball, 470 some yards in 2 games and 4 TDs, but he has given it up 2 times. So I just think with a team like Texas with a good defense like they got, you got to protect the ball. CJ Stroud, once again, having a good year. He's passed for over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. So
so Minnesota beats sorry ass Giants, but you got to give them credit. They beat San Francisco last week. So
I remember. San Francisco.
They beat San Francisco, but they beat the Giants first. So I still think they're fakers, man. Minnesota, I don't think they're gonna go anywhere.
Okay. I agree with you on that. I don't think I think that their division is a little tougher, and I think their schedule is a little tougher also. But we really will know what they're all about when they play Houston this weekend. This is a good thing about these fakers. Most of these guys, the games that they play this week will tell you a lot about what they're gonna be about. Now,
they got an easy schedule, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Green Bay afterwards, then they got the Jets, then Detroit, the Rams, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Chicago.
Oh man, you're right.
Arizona, Atlanta. I mean, they got a pretty easy.
I didn't get a schedule like that.
I know, man. In Seattle.
I didn't get a schedule like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on.
It's crazy. Now, this one, the next faker we got on the list, I better not say it too loud because there are too many of them. The New Orleans Saints.
Oh, fakers.
And
I'm not buying
hey,
this.
look, you be hearing these guys running around here talking about who that, you know.
They're
So
gonna be like they're gonna be like the eights. They're gonna be walking around with bags on their heads again.
before mid-season, you think they're gonna be walking around with bags on their head?
Yeah. Now, what's the name? The running
Guess who
back.
they play? Guess who they play this week? I
Who?
wish Chuck was on here. They play the Eagles.
Well, that'll be interesting. That'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is why I like these guys on this list, because if they are fakers, we should have a good idea after this week. So
Yeah,
we'll come back and look at the record.
absolutely. See what happened. Yeah. I'm with you.
Because once again, the Saints are 2.5 points underdogs. So every team that I pulled up so far that's 2-0 is underdogs so far this year.
Yeah, that running back is balling, man, and Olave out on the end. They got some talent on that team, but I just is.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara, you right. 4 TDs so far this year. Now the thing is can he stay healthy?
Right. That's always his thing.
That's always the problem with him. Can he stay healthy? He is an excellent running back because he can catch the ball, he can run. You can keep him in all 3 downs, and you don't have no problem with him. Philadelphia, I don't know what happened to their coaching staff, but they had a brain fart this past week. I don't know.
Man, I don't know what you said something in the what's that? I don't know what's wrong with these offense coordinators, man. Why are you going away from what has allowed you to win? I don't get it.
Okay. You took it there, and I just remembered that I said it. The Eagles. You know, it's 3rd down and 4. You're in field goal range.
Yeah.
Go ahead and kick the field goal. Okay. Go ahead and field. You already ahead. Go ahead and kick the field goal. But then it's 3rd down and 1. You're in the red zone.
Right.
You have Saquon Barkley as your running back. 3rd and 1 in the red zone, and you throw a flare pass.
Right.
In the flat.
Everybody
was like, but he dropped the ball. It was a good play. He dropped the ball. But if these analytic thing, if you had an analytic for it, as opposed to just handing the ball to him and let him run 1 yard, why would you throw it 10, 15 yards down the field and let him try to run for it?
He's a running back. He's a running back, man.
Another thing,
that play's not guaranteed, man. Get the ball to your running back in the backfield. Let him get the first down.
Exactly. He's not a wide receiver. He's a running back. It's always a bonus or a plus when your running back can catch, but that ain't what they're there for. They're there to run the ball. It's always a bonus if they can catch. Now the other thing is, if they had ran it, the clock would have kept running. Because we also was in a clock situation. I think it was 143 or 150 something when they had the ball. If they had got the first down, 40 more seconds would have came off the clock. And even if they didn't get the first down, it would have forced they playing Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
They would have forced Atlanta to call a timeout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now they don't have to call a timeout, and 40 seconds stays on the clock. Oh, of course you got the field goal, but you're only up by 6 now.
Right.
So, and then what did they do? They came and played that prevent the win defense. It prevents you from winning.
Right.
That's
exactly what it is. It's called the prevent you from winning defense. Ridiculous.
Exactly. You playing a too deep zone. And that middle is wide open. As long as the quarterback can throw the ball pretty good 20 to 25 yards and get it down there, spike it, call a timeout, you can move 40, 50 yards in 3 plays. And that's exactly what Atlanta did.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to blitz and you got to go man to man. You got to make the quarterback make a decision. Got to make the quarterback make a decision.
I agree.
Can't let him sit back there and think all day.
Right.
Most pro quarterbacks will eat you alive.
Easy.
They will eat you alive. Okay, so who's our next faker? Here we got one more. Seattle Seahawks. God, man.
Seattle, I don't know, man. I mean,
it seemed like they always in the conversation. It seemed like this is gonna be their worst year. They ain't gonna, who's their quarterback? What's the quarterback name?
oh, uh,
See that
uh,
can't even think of the quarterback. He
and
been around.
Gino?
Yeah, it's Gino.
Yeah,
It's
Gino. Yeah,
Gino.
Gino Smith.
Gino been around for 100 years.
Yeah, he has.
And they winning with him. You
Yeah.
know, they winning with him. He's one of those guys that
The
get the job.
journeyman.
He get the job done. And guess what? They're gonna be 3-0 after this week because they playing the Dolphins.
Yep.
So they'll be 3-0. The line is they 6.5 points.
Oh, look, we got Chuck on
Got
here.
Chuck on here. Let's put him on. There you
Oh,
go.
man. Look at here. Look at here.
What's
Hey,
up,
hey,
Chuck?
hey, what's going on, Chuck?
We talking about some fakers. These teams that are 2-0. We're trying to see which one of them actually gonna go to the playoffs and which one is not going. So we're picking the fakers. We're on right now. We're on Seahawks. We'll do a background kind of backtrack and let you tell us what you think in a minute. But what you think about Seattle? 2-0. They play the Dolphins this weekend. They're 6.5-point favorites this weekend.
Over the Dolphins, they'll win that game. I mean, the Dolphins are struggling. Dolphins are struggling. They don't even know who their quarterback is.
Yeah. So do you think Seattle is going to go to the playoffs this year?
That's a tough sell there. Well, I mean, think about their division. The Rams lost both of their starting wide receivers. San Francisco's beat up right now, so it's like what they have a chance. They have they have just as good a chance. And you know when it comes to divisional games, it's a little different.
Yeah. Well, I tell you right now, I think they're gonna make it. They're always somehow in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Every year they're in the conversation, and they're doing it with Gino. Gino's been around 100 years. You know.
I know.
And that's who they're making the playoffs with every year. You know. So I think they'll make the playoffs. They're gonna be 3-0 after this week. I think they're an easy pick for making the playoffs and everything.
Yeah, everybody expected Gino to be a career backup.
Yeah.
He's proven them wrong.
Proving them wrong. He got his chance and he's been in there. These young guys had a chance that they've gone at him for 2 summers now, and he's kept the job for 2 summers. And so I'm really happy for him because he's one of those guys that keep his head down and work. He's not an above average quarterback. He's an average quarterback that's gonna manage the game for you.
Right, and he gets his done.
Exactly.
It appears that the team likes him. So
Oh yeah. So the other one was New Orleans.
Yeah, we're gonna see how that 2-0 team is this weekend.
So they play who?
We play the Eagles this weekend.
Yeah. Eagles
down in New Orleans, and because they've actually been blowing teams out. They're averaging like 43 points a game right now. I think something crazy.
That's why I say they fakers. It's not gonna last. It's not gonna last, Chuck.
We're gonna see what they made of this weekend.
Yeah, we will. They're 2.5 points underdogs. Your Eagles are 2.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I don't think the Saints are that good. I don't think they're as good as what they appear to be right now. But we're gonna see.
I don't think so either. I really don't. I think I haven't seen their schedule. Have you seen their schedule, Suleiman? You on mute. But I haven't seen their schedule. But they got a pretty. Their division is always kind of tough. They got to play with Falcons, so
yeah, they get the Panthers twice.
Well, they got the Falcons twice and they got the Panthers twice. So
the Falcons twice and they got the Panthers twice.
Yeah.
See, what is their what their schedule look like? I mean, because in the NFL they usually play a division. Like the Eagles had, with me being a Philadelphia fan, the Eagles played the AFC. What is that? What is Baltimore and up north? Is that the north?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can find their schedule. That's what I want to find is the schedule.
for New Orleans.
Yeah.
For the Saints, let's see.
What is saying?
Saints come marching in. Their
Sorry,
schedule is
You
the
bet.
Saints got
so the
got Philly, then they got Atlanta, they got KC, they got Tampa,
okay,
Denver,
Denver.
Chargers, Carolina, Atlanta, Cleveland. They got a pretty tough schedule.
They do. They do.
I think they're fakers. I think they're fakers.
And they got to play the Raiders and Tampa twice.
Whoa. Yeah.
Right? Because they're in the same division, right?
Oh yeah. Well, they're not in the Raiders
They're
division.
not in the same division.
They're in NFC South. That's New Orleans, Tampa, Atlanta, and Carolina.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I missed it. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. So I just think
we're gonna see what David Carr is made of.
Yeah, I think they're fakers.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he's
so
playing.
They play. Yeah, so after they play,
their next 3 games, they got Philly.
Yeah,
Atlanta,
after they play Philly,
KC.
they come to Atlanta.
Yeah, they got Atlanta and then KC and then Tampa.
Yeah.
Shit, that's 0-3. That's 0-3 right there.
Yeah, we'll find out real fast because they, for some reason, just like Atlanta can hardly win in New Orleans rarely wins here in Atlanta. You know, that's a big rival.
Atlanta's what's their record? They 1-1.
Yeah, they 1-1. They should be 0-2. Really,
they should be. They should be. They should be. I want to see Raheem. You know, he's got a chance to be a head coach again. I want to see him do well.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to see them brothers get a chance.
Yeah,
you know, coach, and I want to see them do well. I don't like when they beat my team, but
yeah, exactly.
I want them to do well. You know, the opportunities, they come and go for us.
Well, it's one of those things once again that, and me and Suleiman talked about it earlier, and we've been talking about it on the thread all this week, is these offensive coordinators seem like they just out thinking themselves, you know? Let's do this when the simple things just turn around and hand the ball off. Just turn
everybody's
around.
trying to be that up and coming, you know, new mind, man. I mean, man, just get a ball, man. I mean, you know, I go to Baltimore and I'm like, you bring in Henry. Why is Hill playing more downs than Derrick Henry?
I don't understand. I don't get it, man.
I mean, everybody knows that when Derrick Henry gets going, ain't nobody stopping.
You got David Henry. I'm sorry. You got Henry playing first down, and he get 2 or 3 yards. They take him out and put the other guy in there, and he in there for the rest of the series. And unless we get a first down, then we bring Henry back in there.
Yeah,
you running him on run down. So if you look at the box got 8-9 people in the box almost. Because they know
the defense knows when Henry comes in the game that you're gonna hand it to him because you pull him out every time you want to pass. Derrick Henry caught, I don't know how many passes he caught out of the backfield of Tennessee. Yeah. While all of a sudden in Baltimore, he can't do that.
I don't know what they're doing. And okay, if you want to do that, at least run an RPO with him. So there's a chance that those outside linebackers got to stay in place because Jackson might take off. You know, run an RPO with him if you want to. Do something that gives him an opportunity to get some more running room. Right now, he don't have no running room in the middle. He still had 75 yards this past week, though.
Being predictable.
Yeah, 75 yards. It's those OCs, man. I don't know. Vikings.
Oh, it's the analytical. It's the analytical era. Everybody wants to use analytics to do, like, you know, when the Eagles were playing on Monday night, they didn't kick a field goal. It was like 4th and 4.
Exactly.
And we talked about that too. Kicking a field goal. Why? I don't get it. Nobody wants to kick field goals in. Nobody wants to take the points. Like, it don't make sense.
Right.
Well, the numbers say that you should go for it. Man, who cares about the numbers?
When did the new numbers start saying go for it when you got 3 to 4 yards? I mean, they're going for it when they got 3 to 4 yards to go. You know, It ain't like they got 1 or 2 yards. it's 3 or 4. Do you know how hard it is to get 3 or 4 yards in the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
When you got 200 some pound men, 300 some pound men coming at you full speed.
Crazy.
It's crazy. So I'm just saying I think all of these guys are overthinking this stuff, and they need to get back to basic football. So what do you think about the Vikings, Chuck?
Vikings, they are just like Seattle. I mean,
that's what we said. Right? Yeah, that's what we said.
Who's the quarterback? Sam Darnold.
No, yeah, Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold is the quarterback. You know,
yeah, 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception.
He's what, his 14?
Huh?
He's a retread, man.
Yeah.
It's 14.
Yeah. And everybody's surprised. I think Vikings even surprised. So pretty soon they'll start tanking so they can get a quarterback in the draft. They'll start tanking so they can get a quarterback in the draft.
Right. The crazy thing is the Vikings already have a quarterback. He got hurt. They got McCarthy from Michigan.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. JJ, yeah, JJ.
Got all about him, yeah.
He got hurt. He's out for the season.
Yeah.
So they got to ride Sam Darnold. Whatever it.
I can't see them I can't see them investing in another quarterback this coming year. So year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not this year. Yeah. Plus, I think they have don't they have a backup that's pretty good? I think they have the kid. I think what is his name? He came from Tennessee. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can't remember you.
They have because it's a black quarterback they got on their roster.
I'll get him for you in a minute.
He was in Tennessee a couple years ago.
Right.
And he was pretty good. I think he had got hurt or hurt his knee or something like that. But he had a big season coming out his senior year. But he's up there in Minnesota. They got him on the bench.
Who played for Love this past week?
Well, the kid from Liberty. The one that was drafted by the Willis, I think it is.
Yeah, Willis.
Oh yeah, Willis. That's who it is.
He started out the game pretty good.
He played well the whole game.
He did.
He managed the game for them, and they won. And you know what they did? They did what some of these other teams won't do. Like y'all keep saying for Baltimore, they ran Jacobs like 30-something times in that game.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't understand.
And it worked.
I don't get Baltimore. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it is. They're trying to showcase Jackson, but I'm like, if you got a running back, Jackson is going to get better because if everybody comes to the line to stop Henry, then Jackson can RPO or he can go over the top. I mean, I just don't understand it.
There you go. They thinking about it the wrong way. And you're exactly right. What they said they don't want to pigeonhole Jackson by running Henry 30 times a game. That's what the head coach said. And there's a lot of rumbling out there in Baltimore. I heard it on the radio station while I was out there. They want to get rid of him, man.
Of who?
That Baltimore coach. They said he done lost.
Harbaugh?
Yeah, they done said he lost too many games that they should have won. It ain't the games that he winning, it's the games that he should win and he losing,
Man, they gave him everything he needed, everything he asked for.
Exactly.
And he turned right back around. And I mean, you got Jackson, you got Henry, you got decent receivers. They're not superstars, but they're decent receivers, man.
Yeah, you got Zay Flowers. He'll get open anyway. I'm gonna tell you, we haven't got to the Ravens yet, but I'll go ahead since that's my team. Jackson don't look comfortable in the pocket this year. He don't look comfortable in the game at all this year. He really don't. He's slimmed down, so he's fat. He's just as quick and fast as he was when he first came in the league. And I think he's ready to play. He just don't look comfortable in the pocket right now. He's jumping around in the pocket. Then he runs to the left, comes back to the right. And I'm like, he used to confine Andrews anywhere on the field, his tight end.
Right.
When he got in trouble, he could always look for Andrews and find him.
Right.
Andrews didn't have but one catch the first game. The second game, I think he might have had 3 or 4. And
Does,
that's
does, he
just
have a new, does he have a new OC, Tony?
hold on. I know they got a new defensive coordinator. No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
So the same
I
guy.
just think what they did was they're trying to tailor the offense so that they can use Henry's strengths and not take away from Jackson's strength.
Okay.
So I think it's a thing, and I'm not panicked yet. They lost 2 games. I'm not panicked yet. They get to beat the Dallas Cowgirls this week. Once they beat the Cowgirls, we'll be back on the right track and everything. But what I'm just saying is, it's not too late for them, but they better hurry up and figure out their groove. They ain't found out their groove. It's like Jackson got a new girlfriend with Henry, and he don't know how to use her. You know.
This is a big game for the Ravens. They can't afford to go 0-3 right
It
now.
is,
They
man.
sure can.
It is. It is. It really is. And I think Dallas is a little bit dazed. I think we need to slap them in the mouth and keep
Where's that
them.
game at? Is it here?
No, it's in
Is it
Dallas.
Baltimore?
No, it's in Dallas.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man, Dallas can't afford to lose 2 games at home in a row.
Nope.
They're gonna be calling for some heads.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the Ravens is calling for their coach. They need to step it up. When the Ravens left the field, this past weekend, there was some booze out there.
Really? You never hear that in
be.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
That's new for Baltimore.
It is. It
It
is.
should be, man. I mean, that play is terrible, man. I mean, terrible. And especially when as Baltimore fans, you're looking at the Chargers and you're seeing Dobbins, who Baltimore basically wasted, who was out there running like he's back at Ohio State.
Like back in Ohio State.
Exactly.
And he's out there running for the Chargers.
That's the same thing I said.
Who never had a running game.
Yeah, I don't know what like I said, I just don't know what Baltimore is doing. I really know that game is in Dallas, and right now this game is even. There's nobody. They're not. It's an even game. Money's even on this game.
Yeah. So cool.
So
all right, what you got?
Okay, the last one in our backtrack for Chuck is the Chargers, LA Chargers.
So, that's like they got a new coach. Harbaugh's there.
Yeah.
Harbaugh's, especially in the NFL, his stuff will work, for maybe 1 or 2 years. So that team may make the playoffs.
Yep.
That team may make the playoffs because
And that's what Suleiman said.
they got a good coach. They got a good quarterback. They have a running game. They got some talent out there. That's all they need is to gel.
But we're gonna see if they're fakers because they play the Steelers, a disciplined team. They're not gonna be able to run up and down the field, I don't believe, on the Steelers because the Steelers with Justin Fields out there. I think they're gonna play ball control. They're gonna run. Justin Fields gonna run. He's gonna pass when they have to. I just don't think the Chargers gonna get the opportunity to make it into a track meet. And we'll see what they made of.
Look, the one thing the Chargers have, and we all know this as NFL fans, is you got to be able to run the football in the NFL.
You do.
And as much as I said before you got on, Chuck, as much as I hate Jim Harbaugh because he's a Michigan coach, Harbaugh teams run the football.
They run the football.
Oh yeah.
So as long as they run the football, they got a chance.
Oh yeah. That's why they're only 1.5 points underdogs for this game. That's it.
Right. Which is why I think, like Chuck, I agree with Chuck. I think they're gonna make the playoffs. They may not be, they're not gonna win the West.
Yeah.
But they're gonna make the playoffs.
1.5 point underdog playing in Pittsburgh is pretty good, And they got Chiefs coming up. So if they lose that one, they'll find themselves 2-2 real fast,
So Pittsburgh better be careful, man, because the Chargers can beat them.
Yeah.
They can. So you mentioned Pittsburgh. What do you think about Justin Fields being starting? Because he came from Ohio State, right? So about that.
Yeah. No, I like Justin Fields, man. I thought Pittsburgh was a good place for him because, although Pittsburgh is obviously a historical franchise in the NFL, you really kind of, I mean, Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. It's a blue collar town. There's not a whole lot of lights.
Mhm.
And I thought going there playing for a black coach that Justin Field was going to do well. He just needs to hand the ball off, do what Pittsburgh tells him to do, and he'll have a long career there. That's all he needs to do.
Yeah.
Because Russell Wilson, Russell ain't going to be there, but another year maybe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
You think Justin Fields can be that quarterback?
I think so, man. The dude's got a cannon of an arm, man. So what I think Pittsburgh should do is bring him along slow.
Okay.
And then maybe a year from now or 2 years from now, Justin Fields will be slinging that ball all over the place like Big Ben if he follows what the coach tells him to do.
Give him a chance to grow.
Also realize that he's young. He left Ohio State as a junior.
Right.
There you go.
After his junior year, he didn't even come back for his senior year. So he was probably 22?
And you got to understand that he hasn't had any stability in since high school. Once he graduated high school, you remember he was the number one player in the country.
Yeah,
not the number one quarterback. He was the number one player in the country.
Yep.
And he went
to Georgia,
to UGA,
sat on the bench.
He went to UGA and sat on the bench. And he was like, nah, gotta leave. And that's when he went to Ohio State. So he hasn't had any stability.
And to be honest with you, that didn't really help him. Because when he went to Ohio State, he went to Ryan Day at that time was throwing the ball all over the damn place.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, at that point, Justin Fields, he fit right into Ohio State's program because they were just passing the ball.
Yeah.
So he didn't really learn, in my opinion, how to be a true quarterback. He'll get that at Pittsburgh.
I don't normally agree with what's his name used to be quarterback for New England. Everybody knows
Tom Brady.
Brady. He had
he's talking about programs.
Yeah, he had this thing on podcast, and he said these young quarterbacks are going to programs that are throwing them into the fire, and they thinking that these guys are going to learn. He said, these guys go that don't play for Ohio State, Michigans, and places like that already play pro offenses. You go to a school that don't play a pro offense. When you come to the NFL and they throw you in the game right away, you're not prepared.
Yeah.
He said it's cookie cutter. And he said, I hate to say this, and he said there's no disrespect, but they dummy down the game so these youngsters can play early. They can justify playing them the first year by dumbing down the game, not playing the whole playbook, just cutting down the playbook. He said these guys, if they get a chance to sit on the bench for a year or just kind of learn for a year, they can get out there and know when to audible and when not to audible. Right now, some of these guys don't even have the go ahead to do audibles and stuff. So,
and part of the problem is that when you go to USC or Michigan or Alabama or somebody like that, Ohio State, 8 of the dudes on the offense, they're all the same as you. They're all superstars.
Exactly.
I mean, right now, I look at, you guys know I'm a Buckeye fan. I look at Ohio State's offense.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you look to your right, you got dudes that sat on the bench behind Marvin Harrison for 2 years, who was the number 1 receiver in the country. They got a freshman to the left. Ohio State got a freshman to the left, was the number 1 receiver in the country. This dude's running all over the place. So you don't have to learn. You don't have to look at defenses and say, okay, how many safeties, or let me put somebody in motion to see if they're running if it's man to man. You don't have to do it. And then they get to the NFL, and now you got dudes in NFL. Look, people in the NFL are paying to eat. They're paying to feed their family. They're paying to take care of their kids, their wife. Those dudes don't care.
And the defensive coordinators aren't no joke. Defensive coordinators can cover coverage. They can disguise coverages.
What's the dude, the coach for Atlanta, the old school dude used to coach for Atlanta, defensive guy?
Hi.
Or was it Philadelphia? Who was Philly's old defense coordinator?
Jimmy Johnson.
Y'all remember that NFL commercial where he was telling the ref, he was like, not for long, if you keep coaching like that.
Oh, you're not talking about Herm Edwards, are you?
No, wasn't Herm a white dude? defensive coordinator. But basically, what he was saying is, in the NFL, you get one season of superstar offensive coordinators. He said after that, everybody picks up on what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
They shut it down.
Because it's a copycat league. So that offense that you were running last year, oh, we should run that offense too. Now it's 8 teams that had that offense, so you see it.
Yeah,
that's just like they do it on defense. It's like the Eagles just played the Falcons. Raheem Morris runs the same defense that the Tampa Bay's head coach runs.
Mm-hmm.
He came from there. So when the Eagles play Tampa Bay in like 3 weeks, Jalen Hurts is going to be seeing the same defense.
Same defense,
yeah.
And that should help him. But, I mean, it's a copycat league. Right now, a lot of defenses it's like they're not trying to give up big plays. So they're sitting back with 2 deep safeties, and they're making –
for old fellas, ain't that called the Tampa 2?
Yeah, the Tampa 2. Tampa 2.
They're making you throw these 5-yard, 7-yard pass routes all the way down the field. And then when you get to the 20, when the field condenses, then it's going to change up things.
Yeah. We're gonna make you drive the whole field because we know you're gonna make a mistake.
And you got Baltimore playing that crazy stuff too. Baltimore used to send the whole house at you. I don't care where you at.
But you know why else they do that? They do that because there's a lot of young black quarterbacks in the NFL, and they don't think that they can read defenses.
That's right.
Or they don't think that they're going to be patient enough to throw that 5-yard pass. Think, I got to get this 15-yarder. Where you put the ball more in harm's way. Jalen's been doing that a little bit. But some of it comes from when you have receivers that you're cool with, and you're forcing the ball into them guys. A lot of that comes from that too. That interception that Jalen threw at the end of the game, he forced the ball to Devontae.
And one of the last things on that is they're kind of scared to bring the whole house when you got a mobile quarterback.
That too.
Run around the end and you ain't got nothing back there.
That's also because, unfortunately, man, the defensive linemen in the NFL, because they put all the incentives on sacks and stuff like that, there's no gap integrity.
No, it's not.
Like, what's the name out of San Francisco? And I love him to death because he played for my Buckeyes, but the defense end out of San Francisco, the white boy, what's his name?
Oh, because he's
his brother played in the league.
One that has a brother in San Diego.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. Bosa. Right. Bosa is the exact same way. Bosa is trying to get a sack every single down. And I'm like, dude, we need you to maintain your integrity on the outside. But they're all trying to do it because they get incentives to get sacks. Right, which causes the defense to break down.
Well, it's the same thing that people do with Micah Parsons. You run right at him.
Right.
So how many? And we getting way off subject, and I'll get y'all back on there in a minute. But how many superstar linebackers have you heard of this year? I got a whole lot of linemen, a whole lot of cornerbacks, a whole lot of safeties.
Well, you haven't heard many because the NFL is going away from linebackers. Most NFL teams have really one true linebacker. The other one is a safety that they brought down into the box.
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking it was
linebacker. San Francisco got a superstar linebacker.
Yeah. Man, look, before we move on, my brother sent me something, man. I wanted to bring this up on the podcast. Do y'all remember when he sent me a video of Walter Payton, when Walter Payton was in college? And do y'all remember when the college superstars used to play the NFL, that they would practice with the NFL for about 30 days after the college season? Do y'all remember that?
No.
I'll send out the video. My brother sent me this video. It was Walter Payton on the college All-Stars against Pittsburgh. And Walter Payton ran over Jack Lambert.
Ran him over?
As a senior, ran him over and then juked him one time. I'll send you guys the video. It was crazy. And he was like, "You remember this?" And I said, "Yeah, now I think about it, I do remember that the college All-Stars used to play the NFL Super Bowl champion."
No, I didn't. I don't remember that.
I'll send y'all the video. It's crazy to see Walter Payton. I mean, you think of Jack Lambert, you're like, damn, Jack Lambert.
Yeah, exactly.
Ran him over.
Yeah, Jack Lambert.
So anyway,
that's why that's the question why I asked about linebackers. I don't hear too much about linebackers anymore. I'm like, God, is there
if you
any
can't cover a back in the flats,
yeah,
you're not gonna play linebacker. That's why most of them are safeties. They move the safeties down.
Now when we go to our next subject takers, these are the teams that we thought were gonna be really good, but they got a slow start so far. We already talked about Ravens, so we ain't got to belabor that anymore. We already talked about them. Let's not belabor. We talked about the Eagles, and the only reason we talked about the Eagles because they shouldn't have lost the game to the Falcons.
No,
I mean that was coaching malpractice to me. It was coaching malpractice.
It was.
I sat there and looked at it, and I was like, "You gotta be kidding!" And Atlanta knows a lot about coaching malpractice. It happens to them every week almost.
You know what's crazy about that Eagles loss is, you know how we go back and forth on text message during the game. Man, I had already typed up a text message. I was ready to send it out because I was like, "Man, we done won this game.
Yeah,
we won this game." And we lost, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
I know,
it's the same thing with the Ravens, man. We got a 10-point lead going in the fourth quarter. We got Derrick Henry, and we losing. You know, so these is why these guys are getting on my nerves. These teams that should be winning and acting a fool. You know, my son-in-law. My son-in-law was back home. They had got back from Cancun, and we were looking at the game together. And he's a Philly fanatic, you know.
Okay.
He was born in New Jersey and Philly. Good. He like you. He got his jerseys up. They got their blankets and everything. And my daughter's a Raven fan, so we got 2 Ravens and a Philly fan in there. So he was so mad when he went to bed, man. He was like, "That is the stupidest thing."
I'm older now. I'm past the getting mad stage. Plus, we won a Super Bowl, what 2017? So it wasn't too long ago.
Yeah,
we hadn't won one forever my whole lifetime.
Right.
So I'm good. I'm good.
It's just like winning the fantasy football. Once you get that one, the monkey's off your back.
Man, whatever, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on to the next game.
Yeah. So the other 2 that are on there, we talked about Houston a little bit, I think, but Houston, I just think is just a well-coached team. We talked about coaching malpractice. I think Houston is one of the best coached teams around, you know. I really do.
I think they're well coached. I watched them play. Who they play on Sunday? Gosh,
I can tell you
they played. But I watched them play Sunday, and I was like, because everybody's hyping them up because of C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, of course.
CJ's, you know, he's a stud quarterback. You know, everybody has him in their top 5. So
they beat the Bears.
I watched that. So I was like, man, they're good, but man, they're not great. They're not. I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're good, but I'm like, and I don't know. The jury's out. Even the jury's still out on C.J. Stroud. He is a really, really good quarterback, but you got to give them quarterbacks 2-3 years, and when you start to get a book on them, then you know what they do really well. Then they got to kind of alter their game a little bit. Then
I tell you what, C.J. Stroud does. I tell you what he does better than a lot of rookie quarterbacks is he take care of the ball a lot. He don't no interceptions normally.
He do. And the crazy thing about that, Jalen was doing that, man. But then I think when we got all these wide receivers and they start wanting the ball, he's trying to force the ball to these guys.
Yeah.
Instead of taking what's there.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot in the NFL.
Because
receivers, man, with them, they coming back and they chirping in your ear all the time. They want the ball. Fields is going to hit that because it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's just like Suleiman said. These guys got to feed their families. If they don't have catches, they can't feed their families. You know.
I watched Jamar Chase's body language Sunday.
Yeah,
that dude is unhappy.
He is.
Regardless of what's going on in the game, he is unhappy about his salary.
It's all about them, man.
It's all about money. And until you pay that dude his money, he's going to be unhappy. I'm going
to tell you, in my opinion, it doesn't change until the last half of the season. When a team see that they got an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, and they see in themselves that they are a good team and they have an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. That's when they gel, and it don't matter anymore who gets that catch, who gets that ball, just as long as they win, because they know one of the other thing is the longer you stay in the playoffs, the more money you make because you get that extra money.
So and during the season, it's about individual stats.
Yeah.
During the playoffs, it's about winning.
Yeah, exactly. And towards the end of the season, if you're in that mix and you see that, you say to yourself, well, damn, we got a chance to make the Super Bowl. You know, these guys start coming together. Hey man, if you're open, get the ball to him, you know.
Yeah,
winning then. You know?
Yeah, because it only takes one or two guys that was on that are on that team that have been to a Super Bowl. You're not guaranteed to come back to a Super Bowl.
That's right.
You got to take full advantage of it when you have an opportunity.
Oh yeah, ask my Bengals.
Oh yeah.
32 years before we went back to the Super Bowl, then they make it, and they ain't sniffed it since.
Right, crazy.
So yeah. Crazy. All right, what else we got?
You know, the funny thing about those fakers, we got the Vikings and the Texans on that list, and they play each other this week. So we're gonna see which one of those. We're gonna see which one of those teams is really a faker. And I'm predicting right now that Texans don't win. You know,
where's that game at?
It's in Minnesota.
Okay,
it's in Minnesota, and Texans are favored by 2.5 points.
In Minnesota.
They're favored.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Home field advantage, man, is becoming non-existent.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think we got most of this in, most of the NFL stuff in. We want to talk about of course, we want to talk about Deion Sanders. We brought that in, what he said about the media. We want to touch on that because he said a lot, and a lot of people said a lot about what he said. And Deion is always, I think we said it on thread, he's always going to say what is on his mind, and most of the time it's true.
Yep.
Because he's been on both sides of it. Mm-hmm. You know, he's been that player, and now he's that coach. And I think he is one of those players that really care about his players. You know,
I think so.
So I guess the media has started to go in on personally on some of the players, and Deion spoke said he didn't believe that they should be doing that. He said, but some of them people in the media are jealous because these players are making more money than them now. You know. So while they were amateurs and not making money, it was off limit to talk about them guys. When they make a mistake, they wouldn't go hard on them because they're amateurs. But now they're making money, and when a player make a mistake or cost the team a game, they're going in on the players. Paul Feinbaum, or whatever his name is, I can't really stand his ass, really, you know, because he all up the SEC ass and Alabama. I think he think Alabama is the second coming of heaven, really. So I really don't care what he says about Deion, but he did say, I mean, on First Take, they asked him what did he think about what Deion said. He said it was a bunch of crap. Deion don't even believe what he's talking about. And he wanted to make it sound like the news media is not capable of doing that, and they are. So what do y'all think about what he says about the news media?
I mean, go ahead, Chuck. You go ahead.
I like Deion because Deion is outspoken, and they hate that. They hate, especially as a black man. Mm-hmm. and the position that he's in, and there's nothing that they can do about him. Granted, you know, they're not winning as many games as they could, you know, right now, but they're still competitive. But man, they want Deion to fail so bad because why? Deion is doing it Deion's way.
Right.
And they hate it, and they're right. They are picking on them kids. I mean, his son Shador is making more money right now than he'll probably make as in his first year in the NFL.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That kid is making $5 million a year.
5.7 to be exact.
He's in college.
Yeah, exactly.
College.
And he driving around in Maybach SUVs and stuff.
Maybach SUV. Do like his dad. He got the jewelry.
Yeah.
You know, he got the earrings. He got the watches,
Yeah.
and he flashes it. But what they can't say about that kid is when he steps on that field, he brings it.
He brings it.
And what they also can't say about him, which is what really pisses him off, is that he's failing. The guy, he's good in school. He's going to graduate. He has good grades. He's come from a family of money, but he's not spoiled.
Yeah, you know, he's making his own money now,
right? And they don't don't like that, which is typical of the media.
All his kids.
What they should be telling is the fact that Colorado now has about a 19% increase in Black kids wanting to go to Boulder, Colorado. Now, I'm sure all of us have been to Boulder. You couldn't catch me dead in Boulder, Colorado. Okay, but they got a 19% increase in Black students wanting to be there because of Deion Sanders. Colorado Buffaloes are now on the map when it comes to games. They're getting teams. Who would have ever watched Colorado against Colorado State on television 3 years ago? Yeah. But Deion's doing that, and the media doesn't like it. Yeah. And that's why they're being critical of him and his players. So
that's why that funny looking Feinbaum said what he said. He said most of the stuff Deion is talking about is him and his kids are bringing it on themselves by their actions. I mean, what you mean by their actions? Because they're having fun doing what they love to do and making good money at it. Because Shiloh, who is, is a safety. He's making good money too.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's not making $1 million.
Yeah, he is making right at $1 million. Plus, he already graduated from Jackson. What is Jackson State?
Jacksonville State.
Yeah, he already not Jacksonville State. Jackson State.
Jackson State.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he already graduated from there, and he gonna get his master's when he graduates from Colorado.
But see, they don't want to tell that story because that story goes against the narrative that all Black kids are doing is just playing football. His
daughter got about 200,000 in NIL.
Right. They don't want to
they're all doing pretty good.
They don't want to write the stories about the success that Deion Sanders has brought to the University of Colorado.
They don't.
Black kids are graduating, that they're getting visibility because it's only about them. As far for people like Paul Feinbaum, they just want to come on TV and make $6, $8, $10 million a year just talking about the kids and what they do on the field. But now what's happening is the NIL is basically people are not dealing with regular TV anymore. They're not watching ESPN and these shows. They're going on social media and they're putting out their image. So people like Paul Feinbaum are losing their credibility. I mean, look at ESPN. I mean, ESPN essentially fired almost all of their
guys making all that money.
Yeah, exactly. And it's because nobody is going to watch ESPN at 11 o'clock at night.
You see
on social media.
You see where Wojo retired, and
he's going to be an athletic director somewhere.
St. Bonaventure, St. Bonaventure.
You watch Sports Center.
Yeah.
Exactly. This guy is a staple of ESPN for 20
I mean, you look at
do you watch Sports Center?
Not really.
You look at Sports Center, and I can't remember the last time I sat and watched Sports Center. I used to love Sports Center.
If you look at First Take, Stephen A is making a lot of money to do First Take, but he make even more money doing his podcast
now.
Yeah. Exactly. He uses the money that he makes from ESPN to produce his podcast. And same thing with what's his name? What's that crazy guy be on ESPN?
Oh yeah, the one who always like to wear his little muscle shirts.
Yeah. This guy, that's not ESPN. That's a podcast that's being broadcast on ESPN.
Sure is.
That's all it is. It's a podcast being broadcast on ESPN.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So, everything is different these days. And I just think Paul Feinbaum, whatever his stupid name is, I just think long as long as Lane Kiffin and all them good old boys down south are making $12 million and $15 million, and players are trying to find food to eat and everything, he was okay. Now it's a different world.
Right. So, he had nothing to say when the coaches were making $10 million a year.
Oh no.
Nothing. And these college kids are going in, they couldn't even eat at McDonald's.
Exactly.
And Nick Saban's making $10 million a year. He didn't say anything about that.
He didn't say nothing at all.
Like, what's Clemson's coach name?
Dabo Swinney.
Swinney. Dabo Swinney going to be out of a job in like 2 years at the rate he going.
See, here's the thing with Dabo. See, I said this like 5 years ago. The problem with Dabo is he runs around with all that church stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm God and I'm a conservative. Well, okay, then let those white boys come and play for you.
Right.
And what those black families start saying is, you know what, you could be that way. You go on and be a Trump supporter. My son's not coming to Clemson to play for you. And now you're seeing the product on the field.
Yeah.
Dabo put the white kid, this is quarterback now. When the other kid was there, he made him his starter. That kid ain't doing nothing there.
Nothing.
And this is like his what? This is his third year now, right? Second or third year?
Yeah.
That kid ain't showed me nothing yet.
Nothing. And Clemson losing all these 5-star players now, you see is showing now.
Because he doesn't do NIL.
Get the nil money.
Dabo's like,
that's all right. That's all right.
Just keep letting
he'll lose all of it.
I say the job.
Must watch TV is on is it God damn, I think it's on Amazon Prime. LSU got a series on their NIL department. It's let me see if I can. I'll do it after the podcast, and I'll tell you where. But LSU got a whole series on NIL. LSU was one of those schools that saw the NIL coming and saw what the future was. So they hired an assistant athletic director in charge of NIL. That's the title. And they had two females that worked for them as marketing directors. And just a quick example, the girl that ran hurdles for LSU that went to the Olympics, she said they did a little thing on her, and she said, I done broke all of SEC records. I broke all of LSU records. And she said, I'm not getting any NIL deals. So she went to the NIL department, and they were surprised. They were like, you don't have any NIL deals? And she was like, no. And so they've set up a whole program, and now she's getting paid, you know. Wow. So they saw it in advance. So they took Bayou Barbie. They told her to brand it. They showed her how to brand it and everything. They took Jalen Daniels, did the same thing with him, you know. But at his senior year, he stopped using it because he said he didn't want NIL, he wanted NFL money. So he started concentrating on NFL money. He said he had time to do commercials for anybody. He had time to do any of that stuff. He had to work on his craft so he could be first round pick and get. They showed a graphic: NIL money, NFL money, NIL money 1.5 million, NFL money 30 million. You know, he was like, "That's what I was going for." You know, but yeah. Anyway, man, we did want to talk about some of the political stuff that was going on. Don't look like we're gonna have an opportunity to talk about it. What you think, Sula, man? What you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, just really quick, man. I mean, we all saw the debate, man. I mean, it is what it is. We knew it was going to happen, man. I mean, when Kamala Harris, man, is, I mean, what really frustrates me is that, people don't recognize, who we're dealing with. I mean, this woman is, one, she grew up in Oakland, California, and I mean, those of us on this call know what Oakland, California is. Okay, she went all the way across the country to one of the best colleges and university, Howard University. I mean, she pledged AKA. We all know about the Divine Nine and who AKAs are across this country, right? She went back to California and became the district attorney of one of the largest cities in the United States, San Francisco. became the attorney general of the largest state in the union, in California, and was a senator for the United States, and then became vice president of the United States. And she's on stage with Donald Trump, who we know lies about every single thing that comes out of his mouth, has never earned anything in his life. And she wiped the floor with him, which we all knew was going to happen. And then you still got people out here, unfortunately, some of our people who are still saying, I need to get to know her more. Google is your friend. If you want to know anything about her, Google is your friend. Every decision that she made as an AG, as a district attorney, as the vice president, as a senator is online. So exactly, it happened exactly the way we thought it was going to happen.
Yep. We said it was going to happen like that. It happened like that. It was no contest. Only thing I'm disappointed in, I don't give a shit about Donald Trump. The only thing I'm disappointed in is the American public, the people, the 72 to 74, 75 million people that's going to vote for this fool.
Right.
That's what I'm disappointed about. I know who Donald Trump is. It's those 72 to 75 million people, just like the Teamsters Union. They refused to give Kamala Harris their endorsement after she went there and talked to him 2 or 3 times. 3 to 4. Most.
Who are you talking about? The Teamsters?
Yeah, Teamsters Union.
Yeah, but did you see what's happening over the last 3 hours?
No.
The Teamsters Union in Nevada, said that they back Kamala.
Yeah.
The Teamsters Union in New York, the Teamsters Union in Michigan, Teamsters Union in Wisconsin. So all the individual states are coming out saying we don't support the national union. We know what the national union is.
So they did a thing today when they put what the Teamsters stand for and what they're looking for their personnel, and then they look at what the Democrats have done for the unions, and then they look at what the Republicans have done for the union or haven't done for the unions. Everything lines up with the Democrats, but still a large majority of the Teamsters don't want to support her. They want to support Donald Trump. And so it only boils down to it's a personal decision that don't have anything to do with policy. Period.
It's only a personal decision when it comes to nominating. Endorsing. But the Teamsters had their hands out and their hat out to the taxpayers of the United States when the crooks that run the Teamsters have basically robbed them of their pensions. And the taxpayers, and keep in mind that Kamala Harris was the final vote to get the taxpayers to bail out the Teamsters pension. Okay. She's the one who did it. Every Republican said, no, we don't want to do it. All the Democrats said yes, and Kamala Harris was a deciding vote on getting taxpayer money to buy out the Teamsters.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Chuck. I know you were going to say something.
No, go ahead. You're good.
No, I was just saying that it's only when they don't need taxpayers or they don't need Black people for them to do it. And as far as I'm concerned, I say from this point forward, the Democrats don't let the Republicans kill the unions, because that's what the Republicans want to do. That's why you have right to work states and stuff like that.
And all of them are down south. All the right to work states are down south. Right. So, and I always say, why do they call it right to work state when all it does is gives the employer the right to fire an employee without cause?
Yep.
What are we about 5 weeks out, 5-6 weeks out now?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's like 50 days, 49 days or something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be close. I think I'm praying like Suleiman, and I think if everything goes like it should go, it might not even be close in some states.
I think it's going to be close because unfortunately, man, white people in this country, man, they cannot get over their racism.
They can't.
Yeah.
They cannot get over it. No matter what you put in front of them and show them what it's going to do for. Right. They can't get over it. They cannot get over it. I mean, you got 53% of white people in this country that want to vote for Trump. 53%.
That's crazy. That's crazy on what? Last thing, real quick. P. Diddy, Puff, Sean Diddy Combs, Love, Brother Love. the shit went bad fast, didn't it? Fast. What y'all think? Tell me what you think.
You know, it what's it been 2 days now, and
Mhm.
people coming out the woodworks, and you don't know what stories. And I think that dude has so much film and video on so many people. I wonder what direction this stuff is going to go in. You remember what happened to Epstein
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he had his book on all these
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yep.
He's not Epstein, but this is a brother, and it's a whole lot of black folk and white folk caught up in this stuff.
They
And
said
if that
he
dude
had a lot of videos and a
a lot
lot
of
of
it, and if he decide to, I don't, some of our friends think he's going to sing. I don't think he's that dude that's going to do that. But I mean, I
I mean,
don't
no,
know.
no. I think they got who they want. I don't think they want him to roll over on anybody because I think he's at the top of the food chain. I don't.
I mean,
I
he's borderline billionaire, Tony.
he is the top
Billionaire.
of the food chain. That's what I'm saying. I don't
We can
think.
pull, yeah, we can get this dude. We can pull him out, man. They gonna go. Let's get him. Well,
Yeah,
one less black
exactly.
billionaire we got to deal with.
And like they said,
Some
this is
racketeering and some other stuff, man. Like I said, we come from hoods.
yeah.
We all of us can probably say, man, that dude. I remember when I was growing up, man, that dude was 21, man. That girl was 15. He was
Yeah.
messing with her.
Yeah.
It was normal almost.
Yeah.
It was normal. But now, it's
Taboo.
what do they call it?
Taboo.
It's taboo, but
Yeah.
they say it's illegal. Which it
Yeah.
is. At the age, there's an age difference there.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, he forced them. I don't know how much all the forcing in. I don't know.
You know where it's not taboo at though.
Where?
You know where it's not taboo? Down south in those right to work.
Tony, at my church, one of our deacons, man, and I know this talking to him. He's passed on now, but he's old. He was an old dude. His wife was like 17 years younger than him. When he met her, she was like 13, 14 years old. He was like 22.
So all this stuff happened down south.
He was like 22. And I'm sitting there like,
but I'll say this. I mean, when we're talking about age, day gap, and stuff like that. To me, that's not what Diddy did. I mean, because we're old enough to remember. We're old enough to remember that our parents, our grandparents. I mean, there was an age difference between my father and my mother. That was accepted. And mainly that was more based upon resources, though. Older men have more resources,
but it happened mostly down south,
right? But what Diddy's doing? Look, all I gotta say about Diddy is he going to jail and he ain't gonna see the light of day.
He ain't gonna see the light.
They charged him with racketeering.
Yeah. If they didn't let him go today, he ain't gonna never see the light.
Dude, his lawyer offered $50 million bail. $50 million bail.
He offered his house, his mom's house, his
ankle bracelet,
is
a visitor log with a security guard.
His kid's birthright, all that, man.
He offered everything.
He's done.
Look,
like I said to Tony earlier before we got on, these brothers and sisters need to realize we're not like them.
Exactly.
You cannot do the stuff that they do and think you're going to get away with it.
Exactly.
You can't do it. And Diddy got himself caught up in some stuff, and now they got him.
That's the Kendrick Lamar song that's been popular for the last 2 months.
They're not like us.
They're not like us.
They're not like us.
Yeah. He should have did like Russell Simmons did. Should have went to Bali.
That's why they took his passport.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't
get Russell Simmons out of Bali,
Right, and this is what I tried to tell Chris earlier. P. Diddy has daughters, man, that just started at NYU this year. That dude's not gonna leave his daughters. He gonna end up in jail for the rest of his life, but I don't think he would have fled the country, man.
Exactly. I think you're right about that. I think he was being genuine and wanting to offer all that stuff. Because can you imagine going into court and not being able to come out? I had that happen when I was a first sergeant, and I had this guy that had it was a case against him, and they were ruling against him. Three officers, I think, was ruling against him. Was going to rule, and when we took him to court that last day, we told him, just understand that you may not go back to your jail cell, and you may not go home anymore for the next 15 years.
Wow.
And we drove a van up to the courthouse at the base. This was at Bowling. We drove a van up at the courthouse at the base, and we had 3 Marine guards at that van. And if they had told him that he was guilty, they would have took him right to that van and took him down to what's that Marine base down there in Virginia? Quantico.
Quantico.
Yeah. I told him, I said, man, you just got to face up to it. I talked to him that night. I said, there's a whole lot of stuff in place right now. And I said, you need to understand, if you found guilty, you're going to Quantico tonight. You won't be able to see your family. The only time you'll see your family is in that courtroom. They're not going to give you any grace period. They're not going to do any of that. And man, he cried like a baby. And I was like, damn, man. And they found him not guilty out of all that. Wow. And wound up, because the girl that he was accused of sexually assaulting and all that other stuff, which was an airman and he was a tech sergeant, she wound up testing positive to marijuana, and she admitted to going into the dorm where he was staying as a prisoner. So she tainted her own case and stuff. She tainted her own case. So they didn't rule against him. And he went free, man. The guy told me, he told me, I thank you. I said, don't thank me. I ain't do nothing. I was ready to lock your ass up. That's right. I'm serious. But I said, yeah, they proved you not guilty. He was guilty as hell, man. He was guilty as hell.
Yeah, but I mean, but in regards to that Diddy thing, I think you're right, Suleiman. I think that dude's going to jail. I think he's going to jail. He will not be a free man, and Diddy is like 56, I think, 56 years old.
Yeah, he'll die in jail.
Yeah, just like the Fed. Just like you said with the Fed. Who said it? That 97%,
97.6%.
Yeah, they don't bring a case unless they know they can win it.
Yeah, and most of the cases, they don't go to court.
Yeah,
like I had an attorney friend of mine said, you ain't never felt pressure until you see the paper when it says the United States versus Suleiman Brown.
Exactly.
Well, he said when you see that on the papers, on the court documents, the United States, it says the United States of America versus your name.
Yeah.
He said that right there tells you all you need. That's when people say, you know what, man, let's make a deal. And that's what the feds do. The feds say, I don't want you, Now they want Diddy, but I think if Diddy gives them some bigger people, he ain't gonna get off, but he'll get less time.
Yeah. I don't know what bigger people can he give,
Well, and also it's not just that. It's also the fact that you have to do 85% of your time in the feds.
Yeah.
The state, you can do that. They could do that 15 to 20 years. No. Yeah. In the feds say you're going to jail for 30 years, you got to do 85% of that.
Yeah.
Did R. Kelly did he do federal time or is his state?
No, his state.
20 years. So.
Yeah, his is state. His is state of Illinois.
So the thing about R. Kelly, though, and I believe is once he get through serving this time, he got
another trial.
He got more trials.
Now, see, I would tell you, a buddy of mine, I was in the military, was from Chicago, and he told me that R. Kelly, he didn't say it was all right, but he said he said the time in jail for R. Kelly is not as bad as everybody thinks it is because that's where he's from.
Yeah.
And he knew R. Kelly knows a lot of,
yeah, exactly.
A lot of those brothers that, from Vice Lords and, what's the other one in Chicago? Vice Lords and, I can't think of another gang up there.
Well, they showed him. They showed a video of him in the yard singing and stuff.
He knew a lot of those dudes, so I don't know that his time is as bad as everybody. I mean, he's going to do the time, but I don't know if it's as bad as everybody.
Yeah,
Diddy going to die in jail.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They're going to get Diddy.
You don't want the Fed, man. You don't want the Fed. You can do state. You just don't want the Fed, man. The Fed is a different story, man.
This one retired warden in I think Brooklyn said that Diddy's life is in jeopardy.
Yep, I read that. He said his life is in danger.
Yeah, he said his life is in danger right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I mean, because even the R. Kelly thing, I mean, all of us say, that shit was crazy and it was disgusting because he was messing around with little kids. But the Diddy thing, nobody really said that R. Kelly forced.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Diddy, they're saying that he was forcing these women to do it.
That tape,
and that is something in jail that you don't want to be going to jail for.
And that tape was devastating. That tape was
that tape when he dragged the girl, it absolutely was. But I think in Diddy's case, man, it's so many people involved. So many people that went to those parties. What they call them, freak offs.
Yeah.
That's why I think that he's not the big fish. I think the feds don't go to him and say, "Who are you willing to give up?
Who you willing to give up?"
And if he starts giving up people in Hollywood, he's gonna be just like Epstein. They're gonna find him hanging in the cell.
Well, the other thing is, they may already have videos.
Yeah, that's true.
They may already have that stuff.
Well, they got a lot of stuff. Diddy got it.
They also have him for firebombing or paying somebody to set my man's car on fire.
Yep.
Who is that? What? Said who?
Kid Cudi? Kid Cudi?
Kid Cudi?
Yeah, man. They burned his. I don't know if it was a Lamborghini or whatever. Man, burned that thing burned it down.
Golly. They said it was a criminal enterprise with a whole lot of.
That's what they say. That's why I put in our chat earlier. I was like, man, they treating Diddy like he John Gotti or somebody like that.
Well, if you listen to 50 Cent, he knew it was coming. 50 Cent is a troll.
50, I don't like what he do, man. He a troll. I don't like
it ain't just 50. It was freaking Cat Williams said it to Shannon. He was like, Diddy's a freak.
Yeah.
So you gotta stay away from them Diddy parties.
Yeah.
He did say that.
Yeah, those white parties and stuff, man. I mean, what's so terrible about it is he was making these girls have sex with male prostitutes. I mean, what?
Well, the other part about it, those
get out of that.
It's just freaky. He's freaky.
See, man, look. Before we get on, I've said this before, man, but and I know it's hard to hear, but you gotta realize, man, that people like him and people in Hollywood and all these guys that have a lot of money, they've done everything that the average person hasn't done.
Mm-hmm.
They've had every type of woman there is to have.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They've had all the best type of food that you could ever have, stuff that you and I and we can't even fathom afford.
Yeah.
They got all the finer things in life. They've had all of the things that you want. So what happens is the mind becomes demented and they start saying, okay, I've had all the women. Well, now maybe I'll try men. Or I've had all the women my age. Maybe I'll start trying younger women. And that's what happens to these guys, is they start thinking about stuff that they haven't had before and they're willing to do it. That's when you lose your soul, you lose your mind, your foundation. And that's why they get in trouble, because they start doing things that are way outside of their normal thinking. And I think that's what happens.
I believe that. You start to lose a sense of reality.
Bingo.
You lose a sense of reality, man. You're living in a fantasy world.
Right.
I hope I had the opportunity to experience that kind of fantasy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm talking about the money. I'm talking about the money part.
Me too. I mean, from the
money part for sure.
Yeah.
But think about it. Diddy's worth $400 million.
Yeah.
That means there's not anything in the world that he can't buy.
Right.
When you get to that level, man, you start thinking I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about it, they can't take his money, because his money wasn't his money. He didn't make his money from trafficking women.
No, he didn't. Yeah, you're
right. But what's going to happen is once they convict him, or when people start realizing he's close to being evicted, then you're going to start hearing everybody come out of the woodwork. And then they're going to start nickel and diming. So you'll have people say, I'm going to sue him for $10 million. People say, I'm going to sue him for $15 million. And he's in jail. So he's going to start losing.
I hope he protected his kids, man.
He did. I think he did. I think he would. I think he did. And he got what? He has 3 girls and 3 boys?
I think he has 6 kids.
Yeah.
And if he hasn't put that money in the right place, you're going to start.
The thing is, Yeah, see, the thing is, when he sold his stake in that
He
TV
had to.
thing,
He
they
had
said he put some money that he did that to move
had
his assets and stuff.
he had
Because
to.
he sold about 6 months ago, he sold his stake in that TV. Because at one point in time, he was going to buy BET, but they're like, "Why are you buying BET? You already got your own TV company." And
Yeah,
so
but
he sold the stake.
it's where he puts that money, man. I
Yeah,
mean, look, there's a think about it, man. Think about the black Hollywood stars.
yeah.
What star in Hollywood over the last 100 years that looks like us that shares our reflection has left Hollywood clean?
That's true.
Yeah.
Who?
It's true.
So what's going to happen is who's that money
Well, you
with?
got the old school guys,
Denzel was cool.
Them guys like that. They ain't been, there's been rumors, but there's no proof. You got Samuel Jackson. Jackson is sneaky rich. He's
But
sneaky
Samuel
rich.
L. Jackson ain't got the type of money that Diddy got. You got to realize Samuel L. Jackson was a drug addict until he was in
Yeah.
his 40s,
Yeah, he's
which is
sneaky
why
rich.
he makes movies like we go to the 7-Eleven store.
Yeah, but he's sneaky
Magic is
rich
good.
though. He's sneaky rich.
Magic is good.
Magic is good. Magic is good.
Yeah.
But you
I
don't
think
see
some
Magic.
of them-
But what you don't see is Magic out there running around doing Diddy shit. Now we know Magic
You know
was a
what?
freak. We know he was a freak back in the day.
Yeah,
which is
back
why
in the day.
right? But you don't see
You
Magic
know
out
what?
there now doing what Diddy does. Magic is like, look, I want to be a franchise owner, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what else? And Jay-Z did the same thing. Jay-Z disassociated himself with that. You may see him in pictures with that dude, but you don't see him at parties and he got married. He was like, man, I got my wife.
Yeah.
If he had his little indiscretion, you ain't gonna get me out there. He ain't on social media.
Yeah.
You never see him posting. You never see pictures of him.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you got some guys that got out of that, Snoop Dogg scares me sometimes because he still do some wild stuff. But
Snoop is not malicious about what he does.
No.
See, Snoop is not high and mighty. I'm greater than you. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. Remember Snoop went to trial for murder.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Dr. Dre.
He went to trial from Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Borderline, but he's on the other side too.
Yeah,
but they calm down. I mean, I'm not.
He survived. Dr. Dre survived beating his wives and his girlfriends. He survived.
Dr. Dre has talent, and Dr. Dre's not out there flaunting. Diddy was out there flaunting, and that's what you can't do in Hollywood.
Can't do it.
It's flaunted. There's lots of people in Hollywood that have hundreds of millions of dollars, but they're not flaunting.
Yeah.
Diddy did. Diddy's going East Coast, West Coast, taking people shopping, running around with.
Dating a younger girl.
And I got my jet. I'm still at the club. I'm 52 years old. I'm still at the club.
I got my jet. I got my jet gassed up, ready to go.
And the people that run Hollywood are like, nah, man. Because see what they do is they get your vice. They find out what you like that other people are not going to like if they hear you like it. So Diddy might be that dude is into whatever it is he's into, but the people that he worked for, they know what his vice is.
Remember that? I don't know if how much y'all pay attention to rap music. Remember that song Jay-Z had on this 444 album when they talked about not like us. I'm not like that.
That's right.
You know,
it's gonna be interesting, man. I feel sorry for the brother, man, but I don't know how many times our people got to see, man, our brothers get hung and get in trouble like this, man, to realize that, we got to go a different path, man.
Oh, I know what it was. Diddy said in that song, like he was talking about OJ. OJ tried to go away, tried to be with all the white people. And he said, guess what you still are? You still a nigga.
There you go.
And that's what we need to tell him tonight.
Still a nigga.
What? There goes the sound. The producer done put the sound out there. We went over, but it's good going over. We're going to cut it up, put it out there. Chuck, thank you once again. Thank you.
Yeah, man, I had forgot all about it, man, until I saw your text message.
We're gonna probably do the NFL rundown every week. So we're going to have something sports every week. Suleiman, tell them what they got to do, okay?
Yeah, man. So hit that subscribe button, man. Go to YouTube, watch our content. Check us out on X. Check us out on Spoutable. If you think there's anything we can do better, we got an email account out there, Gmail account, gentsmakingsense@gmail.com. Let us know. We look forward to seeing everybody next week, man. Subscribe.
Yep, there you go. Subscribe. And as I
Do it
stated,
now, or I'll hunt you down.
there we go, y'all. See you later.
All right, brother.